All right, and we're live. Thanks for tuning in. This is just a low key chat. Me and John are just gonna be chilling. Anyone is welcome to join if you're watching this live. I see there's a few people watching live. We're just gonna be bullshitting, and we've got some painting to get done. So, well, me more painting. I don't know. John's putting some shit together. John, what are you working on?
I'm building Wild Riders, and I have to, make Sisters of the Thorns out of the leftovers.
And you said you had to green stuff some stuff?
Maybe, which I've never done before, so it should be fun.
Yeah. Should be interesting. How did the eagles come out?
They look like eagles. They're pretty straightforward. They're not painted yet, but here they are. You're not looking.
Sorry.
Oh, caw. No, that one was flying backwards. Yeah, they're eagles.
What color are you going to prime them?
I don't know. What color should I prime them?
I don't know. I'd prime them like brown, maybe.
I don't have any brown primer.
I guess you're going with black then.
I don't have black primer either, actually.
So, you have a list already set up.
Yes.
What, how much of it still needs to be assembled?
Just the Sisters of the Thorns and the Wild Riders. So 18 of those guys altogether.
Okay. And then once that shit's completed, what percentage is left to still be painted?
All of that plus 13 Way Watchers and 7 more Glade Guard.
Wow. You got some work cut out for you.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
So I know you're going into the city tonight to meet up with a guildie. How long have you known him for?
Over 2 years, I think.
What faction you guys playing?
Horde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on in WoW now?
There's a new expansion coming out soon called the Warlords of Draenor, and we're going back in time and then into the future and alternate timeline stuff. It's kind of confusing.
Sounds like X-Men.
Yes. It's the Days of Future Garrosh.
That's crazy.
No, it's kind of an alternate timeline. It's what would happen if the orcs never got corrupted by Manaroth's blood. But then they decide to invade Azeroth anyways.
So they're evading Azeroth not as evil as they could have been or would have been?
Yeah, I don't know. They're evil. They just want to conquer and rule everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything beyond the Dark Portal, like Warcraft 2.
Exactly. We're going back before that, and then after it, but an alternate timeline.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
So I'm currently painting Kyle's Lizardmen for him. I'm painting gold on their weapons, and I'm looking at it now. All of his guys are red with gold weapons. There's no third color.
They're not dry brushed with white or anything. Does that count?
Oh, that would count, but not really. Most of it's just all red. I think what we're going to do is just paint some of the feathers blue or something. This way there's some contrasting color on them, because, I'll show you the models there. They're fairly simple.
Yeah, they look red and gold. Wasn't there some silver on the feet or something?
Let's see. There's some white toenails, so I guess that's a third color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good enough, I guess.
See, I think I've just been too ambitious, and I've been going for 7 colors on each Glade Guard, which is why painting them has taken so long.
Yeah.
I'd say hate painting, so I just don't
But
want to do it.
you wanted to make your army look nice, though.
But yeah, but now it's not going to happen because it took too long.
Uh,
Now putting like all these beautiful models together in a hurry, and then I'm going to have to paint them in a hurry.
well, if you ever paint your Bretonian army, that'll look decent, because it'll be a whole bunch of different colors, and it's hard to mess up.
Yeah, but that would take even longer because you can't even like chain paint them since each one's supposed to look differently.
This is true. Very, very true.
Plus, then I'd have to play Bretonian.
Yeah, it's not too bad. They might get a new book some point.
I'll believe it when I see it. See, because I bought that book when it was brand new, and that was like a year or two before the previous Wood Elf book had come out. So
True again. Any news on Star Citizen?
it's still going. I need to like try to play it. They've got multiplayer now available for anyone who's backed it, which I just haven't been doing. I think they're like over 50 million now or some crazy number.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you take a look at the new model that GW put out? How massive it is?
I did not. What is it?
Nagash. He's like this undead guy, and he's ginormous.
Cool.
Maybe I'll have to fix up my Tomb King army and play it.
Yes. No, I like the mummy faction.
Yeah.
You should convert their leader to be the Rock as the Scorpion King.
I have a Scorpion model. I could put his head on it.
Just 3D print the Rock's head.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait for 3D scanners and printers to be like really easy to get your hands on and cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, you brought up a good point with the whole Xwing thing. Just to scan those little Xwings and TIE fighters, just print them out. There's a lot less detail in those than there is the Warhammer figures.
Yeah.
So how many Sisters of the Thorn are you fielding?
8. So give me 2 ranks, so pretty much another level 2 wizard.
Sweet.
And hopefully just run around and throw poison spears at people and be annoying.
And their ward save 4 up?
I don't know. So I'm hoping Brian will just stand by my table when I'm playing and tell me how to do my army.
You're like what, one of like 4 Wood Elf players?
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it's doubled from Fall Crossroads, or were there 3?
I don't remember.
Forget. Alright, Spring Crossroads, because this one is Fall.
I wonder what Rich ended up bringing since he didn't have time to paint his Hurricanum.
I thought he was going to have you do it.
He never actually like decided on that.
Okay.
I don't know. Does he get back today or tomorrow?
I think, I don't know. You told me it was tomorrow last time I asked, because you said we were having a party for him on the same day he came back.
That could be true. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to those details I gave out.
But I guess it's tomorrow at the latest.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe he gets in real early tomorrow. Who knows? I don't know. He sent me a message this morning complaining about how early he was awake. I didn't know if that meant because he had a flight to catch or whatever, but But once he gets back, we gotta play more Risk Legacy.
Yes, but after Crossroads.
Oh.
Because I need to make an army before then.
This is true. Oh, somebody's joining us. Fernando.
Who's Fernando?
It looks like he's scaring me.
Is he a Tomb King?
Oh, jeez.
What up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Chris? Chris, do you know who Fernando is?
I do not.
He looks like a Tomb King or something.
Nick, could you just give your Hangout links to anyone?
Oh yeah. Just post it up on Google. You working on anything, Chris?
Just getting ready for Alamo here in another couple months, starting to book travel and all that stuff for it. Just figuring out my army list for that and just getting ready for that. That's about it for now.
That's awesome. I love the name of that tournament, the Alamo.
It's only a couple miles actually from the site, so
That's
it's
cool.
nice. You can go down there, it's right by the Riverwalk, and you can go and check it all out, see some American history.
That's cool.
And play still.
And what's the other one that's down there? The Colonial?
No, Colonial's all the way up in Jersey. That's where I met TSC
what?
at. There's 4 big
Buddy.
ones in Texas. There's Bayou Battles, which my buddy Jeff, who I posted on my blog with the Thoughts on Tournaments High Off Cav list, won. The one that just finished. There's Alamo. There's Lone Wolf, which I'll be going to in March. And then there's Texas War Games Con, which is the first GT I went to, which it used to be called, I don't remember what it was called, something different. Just War Games Con, I think is what it was. And those are the 4 they run, pretty much one every season.
Gotcha. So you went to the Colonial?
I did. I was trying to go to the Alamo, and the Alamo didn't send me a bill to pay, so I couldn't go to the Alamo. So my buddy suggested the Colonial, and we showed up there.
How'd you guys get there?
Fly.
Ugh.
I fly everywhere.
How recent was that one?
Was that a year ago? Had to have been about a year ago now. That would have been, yeah, because Alamo is November, October every year, and that was that November, October. So yeah, about a year ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah, went
Do you
up there,
check
met
your
Anthony.
army?
He's running his empire and had a good time.
That's crazy.
Do you check your army when you fly? Because I feel like I would not trust them.
I've got 2 words for you. The second is no. Figure out your first adjective. I use a battle foam pack air, and I just carry it as my carry-on.
Alright.
That's smart.
Do they
made
give
me
you
check
weird
it
looks
once.
when they put it through the X-ray machine?
No questions ever. I figured the little plastic spears on the slaves and all wouldn't cause too much of a fit, and they probably just look at the hell pit and go, "What the hell's that?" But no real issues.
That's so
So-
funny.
I had to check it once because I got on late onto the plane because I had crappy boarding status.
Hmm.
They made me check it, and I bounced. Because I keep all my stuff magnetized to the tray, and I just put the tray straight into the foam,
Smart.
so I don't have to go through and put 150 models on tray every time I unpack from my bag.
Especially with Skaven.
Magnetization, but nothing actually broke other than just a couple here, a spear tip here, and an arm there type thing. So it worked out really well.
That's good. Yeah,
What
I
are you
used to
guys
have
working on?
everything. Huh?
What are you guys working on?
I'm painting my cousin's Lizardman for him because he's lazy, and he's going to pay me to do it, so I've got no problem. But John's like,
Building half of my army for the tournament in 2 weeks because I'm a procrastinator.
What army are you building?
What else? Making Wild Riders right now.
Alright. What tournament is this? Is this for Crossroads?
yeah. Crossroads.
I gotta get up there and go to Crossroads with you guys one of these years, but by the time I found out about it, it was already full, so...
Oh, it fills up. It fills up in like less than like 12 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what Alamo did. Was I was randomly just trolling through stuff I was looking for online one Saturday, and I found that hey, Alamo's sign-up sheet is open. Awesome, let's sign up. Boom, 24 hours later it was full.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
And I'm not talking full just with a bunch of Texas people. There's a group from the Bay Area, the guys who run Quake City Rumble. And those guys who come out here from Leadership 2, they go out there every year. They were already reserved everything. It's a very popular and tough as nails tournament.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think if you were to go to Crossroads, where would you fly into? Because like, it's honestly in the middle of nowhere.
That's what I was asking. I was asking Ann about it one day when he was telling me about it. He's like, just fly in where I am, and we'll drive up together. All right?
Fly to
That way you
Newark.
might be able
Yeah, I guess.
Ugh. I hate Newark.
Binghamton might have take some flights from places. I'm not sure.
Binghamton?
Yeah, which is still like an hour and a half from
Right, right. Well, the thing is, though, at least if he flew into Newark, like one of us along the way could pick him up.
Yeah.
But no, I hate that airport, dude. I go nowhere near it.
The
I don't
one time we flew out from there when we were flying back here, like we went there, and I guess there was like under construction or something, and the waiting area for the plane there was just no seats, just this huge open carpeted area, and just people sitting on the floor, and the flight was delayed, of course. So we were all just like chilling on the floor.
I had to have flown into Newark when I went to Colonial, I'm thinking, because it was in Jersey, so I'm
Probably.
assuming
I don't
that's where I flew. I don't remember the airport at all, though.
My preference is JFK, then LaGuardia, and then Newark, but I don't know. I flew out of Newark
been
once.
to New York at all, I don't think.
You should come out.
I like JFK or driving.
Or driving.
I don't like LaGuardia either.
I need to make it out there one of these days. I need to go check out the stadium for a Red Sox Yankees game. It just hasn't happened yet.
Red Sox, Yankees.
Hmm.
I feel like it's not a big deal anymore. It used to be such a big deal.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
year?
even this year when we're out of it
year-
entirely, it's still fun to watch those.
Yeah. What year did they finally beat them?
2004 is the year that you can always mention to a Yankees fan and have them just yell at you for it.
I can't believe it's been that long ago at this point.
10 years. I have a one of the Nike rivalry shirts which just has a giant 04 on the shirt. That's it. That's also
awesome.
part of the reason I've never gone to New York, because I would want to wear things like that, and I'm sure people would throw like batteries at my. It's not Philly, but I'd probably have something heavy thrown at me repeatedly.
Yeah. Probably.
Just don't sit in the bleachers and you'll be good.
Have you ever been to Fenway? Have you ever been to Massachusetts at all? Or?
I've been to Fenway, yeah. We went out there once right before I got married. My wife bought me and her tickets to a game, and we went out there in April.
That's cool.
And it was a lot of fun, but the problem is I'm from Arizona. In April, it's 90 degrees out. April in Fenway was 40 with a wind chill and raining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Arizona are you?
I'm in Gilbert, Arizona right now, which is a Phoenix suburb.
Okay. I was actually just moved back to New York last year from Tucson. I was stationed down there for 3 years.
You poor bastard. I lived in Tucson for 20-something years before I moved up here, so.
Okay. Oh, it wasn't too bad. It was something different.
The only thing to do in Tucson is the college scene.
Yeah.
The what?
There's nothing to do in the town. It's the biggest little town you'll ever see. There's the college, there's Raytheon, there's the Air Force Base, and then there's nothing else to do.
I don't know. There's hiking, which we didn't really do.
Hiking takes you out of the city, though.
It's true.
In the city? What do you do?
We went to see a lot of movies. They're a lot cheaper than here.
True.
Well, Mount Lemon wasn't far, right? Is that where we went?
Yes.
Yeah, Mount Lemon's nice.
That was weird going from desert straight to snow.
Yeah, a lot of people like to go to Flagstaff. In the summer, it's 3-4 hours north from Phoenix. Much cooler up there, higher elevation, or Sedona, one of those places. But
You got a cat back there?
no, that was my wife.
No, I see a cat too, I think.
Was there a cat back there? Oh, there's a cat back there.
Can they see me?
Yeah.
You should have told me that before I came in.
Hey, they can see you and hear you.
Awesome.
Here,
Is that your wife meowing too?
I won't comment on that. I will not pan the camera over to her and let you guys see her back. And it's not as bad as what your wife does to you, Nick, but still.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I have yet to actually go back and, like, listen to what she says when I'm not on the computer. I'm assuming it's funny, but I don't know. To go through those, like, hour-long videos and actually find the spot, I'm just too lazy.
Some things it's better off not to know.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Hell yeah. So what weekend is Alamo?
25th and 26th of October.
Okay.
So I'll be out. I'll be out there. We fly in the 24th at like 11 at night, which really sucks. And then leave that Monday.
And there's just two of you guys going?
No, we got 4 of us this time. We've got myself, my buddy John, who I play the live games against a bunch, the Wargamer AZ. He'll be playing High Elves.
Okay.
The Alamo just changed their rules. They used to not allow any Lord level special characters and only certain hero characters. But they changed their rules this year to be what one of the other tournaments does, which is the Highlander rule. There can only be one. And so the first person to request a list with that special character gets to use that special character.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's weird.
So you can't get into, you won't see 5, Kairos, Fate Weaver type armies.
Okay.
Or anything like that. So he's going to run a tech list because he's got confirmation. He was the first to see tech lists. I sent him the email saying that you could do that, and he immediately sent in a crap list with tech lists. He's like, I need to change it some, but I've got tech lists at least. So
It's funny. So do you think that contributes to the fact that it filled up so quickly? So people can jack all the special character spots?
no, they made that change after the tournament filled.
Ah.
This change was about a week and a half ago. They filled the tournament a month or so or more ago at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah, Crossroads is like you can't use special characters unless you request permission. So I thought that was like a nice way of saying like you really can't use them.
Right.
One of the games I played, the guy had like 3 lizardmen special characters. I'm like, what's the point of like having people get approval if you can just bring whatever the hell you want anyway?
Probably because there's certain characters that might be considered like OP that are like, oh, can I take this guy? And they're like, no. But if they're just like normal Lord level stuff that may have like one special ability or something, then
So they probably took what, Teto Echo and the BSB Krokgar and something else?
Yeah, I don't know lizardmen well enough to even. The guy that gives them like Vanguard, is that Ted Echo?
I think that's Teto Echo, yeah.
There was a hero on foot and then a skink guy, or I don't know. I was just very surprised.
Was that the like lobster catcher guy?
Yeah. Good
That was
memory.
a fun game though.
It was fun, and I feel like they let him take the special characters because his list was really soft to begin with. But I don't know. I don't read special characters ever, so if someone during a tournament says they've got so and so, I'm like, I have no idea what they do. I really don't follow it too well.
We don't play special characters out here in our scene at all. The tournaments don't, at least. So it's really not something that I do much of as well, other than the ones that everybody likes to take.
Okay. There's so many options in lists without the special characters. So that's why I never really get to bother with them.
And the only nice thing about specials is really when you can find one that gives you something you can't get, like Squeal and a bunch of rat ogres and give them regions, they actually have a save of some sort.
Right.
Or those types. But other than that, I'm not a fan of taking them because some of them are just too ridiculous. As one of the writers writes the book and says, this guy should do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like Teclis or Fate Weaver or one of those guys. It's just not... It's unbalancing when you have to make your whole army plan about killing this one model. Otherwise, you're dead.
I agree. Have you looked at any of the Nagash stuff?
A little bit of it. My side hobby being buying and selling stuff on eBay. I'm sure I'll pick some of it up.
Hmm.
But much like, whatever the last supplement, Storm of Magic, I knew it was just going to fade out in 3 months, so I didn't do any of it. I'll probably follow the same thing with this, other than maybe the new Vermin Lord model or that sort of stuff if it's nice enough.
Did they put out pictures for the Vermin Lord model?
Did they what?
Did they put pictures out for the Vermin Lord model?
I have not seen them, no.
Okay. I've only seen the Nagash model so far.
Correct.
I haven't gone digging though.
No, I haven't either. I don't go out and look at all the rumor boards very often.
Somebody did send me the pictures though of the rules, so for
For
Nagash.
Nagash?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're available out there. That's level 5 wizard, has 4 books to choose from. He's got 7 stats across the board.
Did they release the
I'll be
lore
right
of undead? Okay. Like, does anyone know what those spells are yet?
No, I think that's going to come out in the core rulebook.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure we'll get a bunch more in the supplement, but I haven't seen anything well publicized, at least, that here's pictures of what else is to come.
What do they make more money on though? These supplements or like the actual army books?
Good question. I would think they'd make more money on the actual army books because I don't know. I would think that a lot of the army book stuff is easier to do, considering a lot of the fluff has already been written. All
Right.
you're doing is really writing a rule set. So you have to write 20 pages of fluff for, the rules, and then the actual rules themselves, and then you've got, just the actual characters.
Right. I don't know. I would just rather another army book than a supplement.
Yeah, but they're not going to come out with another army at this point. I don't think that would be a massive undertaking. And with all the rumors that are going around with GW's attempt to being sold to Hasbro and what they've done with their stock and that sort, it's just not. I don't think it's in the cards.
Yeah.
I see we got a chat here from Fernando who says that he's seen the Undeath Lord's all spells to summon units.
Summon units. I guess that's why anyone could take it.
Probably. And that makes sense. I mean, if Nagash is, the lore behind Nagash is that he had the, million skeletons walking to crush the Empire before we stabbed him in the back with the Fellblade, and they all fell apart. So if he's trying to do that again, he'd have to summon all those models back. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, on that point, though, I guess that does make sense in terms of profit. Anybody can buy the supplement and use it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll see what they actually come out with if I'm interested in it. But my scene got so small for a while, and we rose up again when Dwarves came out and Wood Elves came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still waiting to see if it's going to maintain that peak where we're getting, 14 people at a tournament or not, or if it's going to die back off. It's going to die back off. There's not much point to it unless it's going to directly affect my, me going to a GT or something like that.
Right. I'm assuming most of the Nagash stuff will probably be banned from GTs too.
Maybe. He's a special character. It's actual Warhammer approved stuff to use.
Mm-hmm.
They may ban him in a 2,500 point list because the rules are supposed to be that you can take 50% lords in this particular army, I believe. So you can fit Nagash into 2,500. I don't know if they'll ban that or not.
Mm-hmm.
But 1,000-point models very, very hard to get your points back from, I would think. Specifically if all he's doing is casting summoning spells.
Right. You did see how big the model is, though, right?
It's huge.
It's crazy.
Please shoot me with a cannonball.
Yeah, really. What's his ward save?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have the rules for that. See if we can find it real fast.
I read it, like, I did a quick once over, and I wasn't too, I didn't pay attention too much.
Let's see. Four up armor, 4 board.
Okay.
Let's see. Here it is, pulled up. Movement 6, ballistic skill 7, weapon skill 7, strength 7, toughness 7, wounds 7, eye 6, attack 6, leadership 10. He rerolls miscast results automatically.
That's cool.
He's a level 5 wizard. Large target terror, undead. Apparently he's a monster, not a character.
A monster, not a character.
He would apply as a character still, but it may be that he's a monster. That'd be interesting. Death Magic Incarnate reduces losses to instability by 2 wounds, so like a BSB reduces it by 1. Combine that, you reduce it by 3. Summoning spells have triple the range and summon triple the number of wounds of models. Staff of Power acts as a reservoir of up to 4 magic dice that can be stored and used later. So there's one point you can boost up to 10 dice, only if you save those 4 extra dice.
Interesting.
Knows 9 spells from Rise and a combo of Death, Light, Nakara, Vampires, and Undead. And his magic weapon is +1 strength and multiple wounds, so he's strength 8 and hand-to-hand all the time.
Crazy. I don't know, do you think that'll at least bring some people out to play Tomb Kings?
Casually, maybe. But they've been... How long... The book for Tomb Kings came out, what, 4 years ago?
Let's see, 2010, 8th edition came out, right?
Yeah.
And it was what? The order was Orcs and Goblins and then Tomb Kings?
I think that's right.
So it was probably 2010.
I mean, if you still got the book, and you still got the models, yes. I don't see people going out and buying Tomb Kings to field Nagash.
Right. I don't know, it's a cool model. I kind of want to get it.
I found this the other day in my list of...
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
How old is that?
I think it's 86, maybe? I don't know exactly. But...
Which
I
army
got
did he
that.
belong to then?
What's that?
Which army did he belong to then?
I think he was VC back then. Only. I don't know for sure, but...
Was
When
there
I
a
got
Tomb King army in the 80s?
No, this is, like I said, my hobby's buying and selling stuff, and I bought a big collection from somebody. And that was in it, and I just laid around for the longest time. I had no idea what it was. And then somebody told me, that's the old Nagash. Oh, alright.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
No. The clown face and all, but then again, I guess it was in the 80s or 90s, and modeling wasn't nearly as good as it is now.
Yeah. When I googled pictures of him, it pulled up some of the old models, and they look pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, what do you got, John?
Just gluing legs together. Very exciting. I don't know. I like that they have the option to turn these either into Sisters of the Thorn or Wild Riders, but I feel like there isn't enough to differentiate them. Like the only difference really is the torsos and the faces, but they have exact same legs, exact same weapons. It's kind of exact same hair.
Yeah, it's annoying. So is it easy to bash the kit into 2, or no?
No,
Can
'cause you need
Can
5
you lose?
extra heads and 5 extra sets of legs.
Yeah.
And extra arms, too. So, I don't know. I'm kind of just going to take some of my old Glade Riders that I've only fielded like once in 10 years and take their tops off and just turn them into Sisters of the Thorn.
What's your list that you're running for Crossroads for your woodies?
I've got 40 Glade Guard, 20 Way Watchers, 10 Wild Riders, 2 groups of 5, 1 set of 5 Scouts, a set of 8 Sisters of the Thorn, a Way Stalker to go with my Way Watchers, a level 4 Wizard mounted with the Sisters of the Thorn, ESB with the Sisters of the Thorn, and then level 2 who will be on foot. And level 4 has Shadow, I think, and level 2 has Death.
Okay.
And that should be everything.
Archers have any upgrades?
Yeah, poison on all of the archers except for 1. I gave gave fire, and then the +1 to wound against order.
+1 against order or disorder?
Order.
Really? Why order?
I don't know, because that was the one I randomly picked.
The funny thing is, you could probably make a good decision based on the list that Corey sent out of what armies were going to be there.
Well, yeah, but he put that up after we had already had to submit our lists.
No, I'm sorry. I mean the one from last year.
Oh. Well, I didn't know about that one.
It's going to be very, very elf heavy. What was it?
Are High Elves order?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like 11 of them. Are Empire or anything, or?
Actually,
neutral.
you're actually in good shape because there's 11 high elves and then like 14 empire, and that makes up 20% of the.
The only problem is that flaming that you want to get rid of regen for is almost entirely in the armies of disorder.
That's true.
For killing that hell pit, that hydra, that, those type of things. That's why I see people usually going with the Starfire.
Okay.
So,
I forget which is which.
but it will certainly help you shoot down Griffins and Frost Phoenix.
Is the Frost Phoenix flammable?
Frost Phoenix? Viable?
Flammable.
Oh, flammable. No, not flammable. No.
Of course,
Like,
it's
you've run into
viable.
a couple of those, haven't you?
I've played not too many. Once or twice. I did play against a list where I think they had 3 of the Frost Phoenixes. Silly.
That was that list I was telling you about before. My buddy runs 3 Frost Phoenix, 2 regulars in Kadire and on Frost Phoenix, and then 22 Silver Homes with 3 characters shoved in it. With the Banner of the World Dragon.
Ugh.
So,
How many Phoenixes does he lock into one combat?
depends
More
on
than
what
2?
it is. I mean, he'll put
Have you seen him
one
get all
in.
3 in?
I think he will if he needs to, but from what I've seen of him play, he'll use the Phoenixes spread out to, because with that -1 strength and always strikes last in combat, they have a large potential to reduce their ability to be hurt, and it keeps them alive, so he can lock things down that he doesn't want getting in with his bus, and then put the bus where he needs it to go.
Okay.
So I've also seen him bring 1 Phoenix in with the bus, so that the bus always gets to strike and gets all their attacks done, and I can't hit him back real heavily with like the Fell Blade or just whatever you have. It just becomes a massacre.
No fun.
No, I hate that army. You have to have the cannons and the Doom Wheel or whatever you're running for your army be perfect against the Phoenix. And if you're not, you're going to die.
Yeah.
It kind of goes into why a couple of my buddies are coming with me to Alamo, like the guys that didn't talk about the dwarf player. He's taking 4 war machines, but he's only running 2. He's only ruining 2 of them, just for the Banner of the World Dragon.
Oh, so what does he do? An organ gun unruined?
Yes, organ gun ruined, organ gun unruined, cannon unruined.
That's smart because the organ gun could rip down elves really
So
quickly.
yes.
Yeah.
So I think that the elf meta has definitely changed how people build army lists. I think that you've seen that already.
Hmm.
And just what people are taking with their armies. But I think it helps us in the long run. So
Have you gotten hit by any the fire phoenixes with all those ranks escaping?
no,
No.
I've seen a fire phoenix fielded once in the games I've played. I think it's just not. If you can choose from a frost or a fire, the frost is so much better.
Hmm. I got hit by the fire phoenix once, and it was D3 per rank or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It'll
It's
go
not
through and
fun.
kill a bunch of slaves real fast.
Yeah. So what list are you bringing to Alamo? What's in your Skaven?
It's not finalized yet, but what I'm thinking about right now, Grey Seer with a 4+ ward and the Earthing Rod. My Trials of Blowing Wizards up is well known, and I would like to not have that happen again, so I do everything I can with that with the Earthing Rod. BSB with a Flaming Banner and a Shield. Engineer with a Doom Rocket. Engineer level 1 with a Condenser. Engineer level 1 with a Scroll. Adding in the second Magic Missile for Wood Elves, adding in the Condenser for Wood Elves, and for the extra attempt at a channel on my turns.
Nice.
3 units of 50 slaves, 3 rat darts. Forgot Mr. Fellblade, sorry. He's not on a warlord this time, he's just on foot.
Okay.
But he's got the Fellblade. 40 Storm Vermin with the Storm Banner. Another sacrifice for the elf meta between flying phoenixes and wood elves shooting me and dwarves shooting me. 2 units of 7 gutters, 2 warp lightning cannons, hell pit doom wheel.
Nice. Yeah, I used to rarely bring engineer with condenser, but with all the fast cab now, you're right. It's just so nice to have.
And with
Or
all
just-
the people taking magic dominance, you really want that extra attempt at a channel in your magic phase because there's army lists out there where people are taking 4, 5, or more wizards.
Mhm.
You need the extra attempt to get those dice through so you can get that magic off.
Agreed. Hell yeah.
Looking forward to it. What's your prediction on how you're going to do it at Lone Wolf?
At Crossroads?
Yeah, at Crossroads, sorry.
I think I'll do all right. I mean, they've always capped out the hell pits,
Right?
and now that they're letting in 2, and I painted 2 for when I went to Brawlers, I brought the 2 hell pits. I think I'll do all right. The only thing is I don't have anything flaming, and that's a huge handicap. But I don't know. I took out a lot of the variable bullshit because I was having no good luck with the warp fire thrower, and 50% success with the doom wheel, which makes sense, but
Right.
I don't know. I usually play very defensive, so this list I feel like I could just go and get shit. And it's very objective oriented and, pick up markers and bring up table edges, so I need to be able to move.
Right.
So,
That would be beneficial for that unit of gutters you have, so that'll help.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be a scoring unit.
It has to be a scoring unit, which has something with a command in it. And I think my gutters have a command in it. Now that I think about it, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know if you paid for a champion or not. I couldn't remember that.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think I did. Yeah,
So it's
that
going
was
to
a
be the
mistake.
slave, the vermin.
The slaves, the vermin, the monks, which, I mean, they can't really stay in one place if I
And the
tried.
bunker.
Bunker. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. Because the objective things is it's got to be a scoring unit, but it also has to do with bodies. So
Right.
I always do fine because it's always whoever has the most bodies, and I just park a slave unit near it, and I'm fine.
Right. Okay.
So,
I look forward to seeing all your guys' reports for that. That'll be fun to watch.
yeah, totally. At least this time I can try. The lead belchers was such a Such a laugh.
Fun army to play around with, but I'm not sure it's ultimately competitive.
No, but you know what? I had more fun playing it because my opponents had more fun. Just because not only were they winning, they just got to see something different.
Right. I'm well familiar with the opponent's face of how am I going to kill 250 models in 6 turns.
But
Who
the
else going
guy.
up there? Good.
Go ahead.
Go. I was going to say, who... Talk.
The guy I lost first game to with the lead belch ended up winning the entire tournament.
That's
But
cool.
he actually didn't know what to do against the lead belchers. He was playing a very strong high elf list, and he was very hesitant as to when to charge, when to move, but it got stupid.
If he hadn't gotten lucky with that like one eagle, I feel like he would have taken the tournament from him.
Yeah. He had silver helms running across the table, and my Iron Blaster could have wrecked him 2 to 3 times, but it was busy fighting one eagle the entire game.
Which then scared it off the board.
Mm-hmm. What were you going to say? How many people we have going?
Yeah, how many of the YouTube communities going up to Linwolf?
So I've got 4 guys going with me, and then I know Anthony's going. He's got like a bunch of guys too.
Cool.
And then I think that's it. Oh, the Nerdhammer guys. Do you know
Okay.
Nerdhammer?
Casual and those guys?
Yeah, casual. Last time we played some games with him Friday night, so I told him again that we're bringing more people. So there's like 5 Nerdhammer guys, 5 sustainable guys, and then 5 with us.
Nice.
Yeah, I was looking at the list, and it said the sustainable center like 5 times. So I messaged Anthony. I'm like, which one of it's you? Like, how many people do you have going?
I ran into Rob from Nerdhammer back when I went to Colonial and met him. He plays Skaven, so that was cool to meet him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Did you play against him, John?
I forget which one I played against.
You played with Skaven. You played against ogres.
Yeah.
That was a different guy. Yeah, it was not Rob. I forget what his name was.
Justin, I think.
Yeah, Justin Langle. Yeah. Chris, why don't you try to come to Brawlers next year?
I was just about to mention that. They'd mentioned that we should have a mini YouTubers tournament on a Friday night before Brawlers or something.
Yeah, it's one of Malorian's crazy ideas. I think it's fun,
I
though.
think it's a hell of an idea. I would try and swing it. I don't know what I'd do at 3,000 points.
I don't. I just put a bunch of shit together. You'd probably still do Skaven, though, right?
Yeah, because it's the only army I can fly with. I've got the vampire counts, but since Brawlers doesn't allow grand armies, the only thing else I would really add would be more zombies or, I don't know, another 6 Vargeist. 3 units of 6. You'd get silly. But I think for Skaven I'd drop in another 2 units of 9 gutter runners and another Doom Wheel maybe. I think that would be the list. And just run across the field and tear stuff up. But yes, I would definitely try and come to Brawlers next year.
Yeah, it seems to be the place to be now.
As it's in North Carolina, right?
Yeah. It's a really cool store, too. Atomic Empire, I think.
Cool.
It's pretty big. Not convenient to get to for us, but
Not convenient. It's not convenient for me to get to anywhere from way out here unless I go to the West Coast.
well, where does Steve Walker go? What tournaments are out his way?
I have no idea where he's at.
San Diego, I think.
Maybe. The problem I've run into for myself, all the West Coast tournaments that I've seen, and I haven't dug too much into it, I confess, but they do a lot heavier on comp, paint, and the softer side, rather than just more into battle and letting the other things be bonus points or whatnot.
Hmm.
Not my preferred method of play. I've run into tournaments before where that can easily be used to favor certain individuals. I'm not saying they would do that at all, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Right.
So I don't go out there.
Gotcha.
Hoses me for Masters since Arizona's now in the West Coast bracket, I believe. And it means you have to go and play and win one of those 5 tournaments, and none of them are close, and none of them I really want to play in, so it's a real pain.
Hmm.
So I just keep going to Texas.
I don't follow any of the Masters stuff, do you?
Not really. Just a little bit like when Once Bitten and those guys were doing their coverage, and I knew some of the people that were in it. I know my friends who are doing well out in Texas will be in the Masters this year, so I'll probably look at it.
Okay.
But I don't have much more of a connection to it than that.
Gotcha. Do you
I
play
think I wanna
40K
make
at
it-
all?
What's that?
You play 40K at all?
That was my gateway game to fantasy.
That's cool.
I played 40K for a long time, and then moved up here, and they told me to play fantasy, and I did, and got rid of my 40K. It's a better game. It makes me think rather than just my last army I played for 40K. I'd always played power armies before. Played Black Templars in 3rd edition. Played Dark Eldar in 3rd and 4th.
Mhm.
And then I went and played just plain vanilla Ultramarines. And people hated them. So I'm like, all right, I'll be done.
Just give me 1 second.
You're fine. How long you been playing fantasy, John?
I started with Nick like
Okay.
10, 11 years ago or something. I just haven't really stayed consistent with it. I've never had an army fully painted or anything, so it wasn't until I got moved back here last summer that I started really getting back into it again. I'm trying to get my army together.
Cool.
And thankfully, the Wood Elf book came out after 10 years.
I was very surprised that they finally did it again. I was thinking they were going to kill the army because they couldn't figure out a good way to do it, but they just went counterculture and made it what it is. So good for them.
Yeah.
We've been playing a bunch of games, getting ready for Crossroads.
Not enough. I don't know, like anytime we've been hanging out, I've been just trying to paint and get my stuff built.
Got a paint and build since you procrastinated. Got it.
Yep.
Does Crossroads require fully painted?
I know it requires base, and I think it has to be painted with at least 3 colors. So
Okay.
I don't know how mad people would be like if I just put 3 stripes of color on some of my guys and some sand on the base. But I'm gonna try to be a little bit beyond that.
That's fair. Maybe you can be on Nick's series of videos this time, painting on the way to Crossroads instead of painting on the way to Brawlers like Chris does.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be a little bit before that. Got today, all next Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday are my days off, so hopefully I can make it work.
Gotcha. And you're in New York as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Already got like 30 something Glade Guard painted, so a good portion of it.
That's good. And the nice thing about the elves is that they're much smaller armies, so you can knock those out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Unlike Nick trying to do Skaven at the last minute. What time is it? It's noon. Yeah. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to bounce because lunch is calling my name, but good to talk to all you guys as always. Tell Nick I said
too.
goodbye. Nice to meet you, and we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, you too.
You dip out?
Yeah, he said goodbye.
Okay. Sorry. I'll tell you what's going on. Essentially, this is such a huge gap of direction of our conversation. But while we were in Turkey, we ordered a rug. I'm sure I told you about this.
Yeah.
And it's coming. It was like a handmade, fancy, expensive rug, but it's coming. It took like 4 to 6 weeks to get here, and the Turkish government paid for the shipping and all that stuff because I guess they want to export stuff. But this guy just called Christine and was like asking like when he can hand deliver the carpet to us.
Oh, well.
And she's like, no, just FedEx it. It's okay. He's like, no, I can come and hand deliver it. And he was, I guess, from Turkey based on his accent and stuff. So I don't know. I guess they wanted to like come and set it up for us and everything. But Christine's like, no, just send it. Just mail it to us.
Set it up? Is it a TV? Are they gonna like wall mount it for you?
Dude, they take
Like
some
all the
crazy.
wires?
They take some crazy pride in their stuff. It was crazy. When we were in Turkey, all the tour guides and people that lived there, they referred to like Turkey. They said my country a lot, which like, I mean, they were talking about Turkey. But when we were in Greece, they would always say, in Greek this or in Greece, blah blah, which is very weird because like I don't hear a lot of people say my country here in the States. Do you?
No.
Yeah. Interesting side note, we've got like 12 people watching us right now. So if anyone wants to join us, feel free to join us. If you want to post questions or topics, I'm going to take a look right now to see if people are leaving questions and or topics. We also have in spirit Fernando, who's just kind of chilling out.
Yeah, I participated in group chat a little bit.
I saw he gave us some Nagash rundown. Let's see if there's any comments or stuff. No, doesn't look like it. Just 3 thumbs up. All right. Well, if you're out there and you're watching,
It's more thumbs than I have.
so feel free to leave some topics. So once Crossroads is over, you got to play some Xwing.
Yeah. Yeah. And once Crossroads over, maybe like finish painting my army to make it actually look good.
You're not going to do it. At least not right away.
I know not right away, but try to do it before spring Crossroads or whatever.
So I know you're not overly competitive with the Wood Elves. Hey, what's up, Josh?
What's up? How's it going?
How are you?
Hello.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm. Hold on, let me turn viewing us off so I'm not getting some weird reverb. What's up, guys?
How are you?
Doing all right. Day 2 of New Babyville, so taking just a.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was actually going to send you a message, but then I remembered you were having a baby soon, so I didn't, because like I was just kind of curious about maybe doing a video covering like some of the fluff behind Nagash, because I know little to nothing about any fluff, so I figured you might have some idea.
A little bit. I never really followed the Tomb King stuff, so there's a lot of the fluff there that I only have sort of one side of it from the stuff via vamp counts, but I don't know. I gotta say, it's a neat looking model, but I'm kind of disappointed with them going the way they are with it.
How come?
Well, I think if they were going to have the opportunity to really advance the plot and kind of move the world forward, I think kind of the least effective way of doing it is bringing back an old baddie from 1,000 years ago. I mean, they've already gone through these major fluff stories with Nagash, and I think it simultaneously takes the teeth out of the vamp counts and the Tomb Kings, and doesn't really add anything new. It's just telling the same story over again.
Right.
Except maybe the Skaven will get a little less involved this time. I don't know.
We'll see about that. I don't know. I always like when Archeon was the bad guy.
See, I think that happened in the break from when I used to play and before I picked up again, so I don't really know much about him at all.
I don't know any of the Warhammer fluff at all.
I know. Whenever you guys talk about like the WoW fluff, I'm so lost. Now I know how. Now you know how I feel. But I don't know. Archeon's a badass.
Yeah.
So you ended up having a boy or a girl?
Little girl, Joanna.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And how's your wife
Yeah.
doing?
She's doing good. I went through it like a trooper, totally natural, no pain meds, and she's already talking about getting back to doing the commission painting that she's doing for Anthony.
That's so funny. That was gonna be my next question. When's she going back to commission painting?
I have no idea, but at the rate she's talking, it'll probably be relatively soon. She's doing 30 Glade Guard for him, plus she has another commission from Nicholas Belaert for a Bloodrack Shrine and some Cold One Nights that she's got to work through.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you got some commissions through that little video.
Yeah, hey man, I appreciate it. It was a very pleasant surprise to see it pop up. It was, thanks.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
I just didn't think it was gonna be like the next day Anthony was up there like, can you have her paint like 50 models for me?
Well, he's gonna get her to do his whole Wood Elf army once she's done with this. He was just like, since she's having a major life-changing event, let's just chop it up into small pieces and let her deal with that. So, 30 Glade Guard, I guess, is small pieces.
Apparently. So Fernando
Should have
threw
had
some
someone
stuff.
else through my army.
Oh, you should have. That's why Kyle's smart. He's having me do it. I'm just gonna charge him an arm and a leg for it. That's the thing. So Fernando posted that Nagash was a lich priest in the era where the Nakara was a living realm. Okay. Then he captured some dark elves and shipwrecked there and tortured them. Wow, dark elves being tortured for a change. That's nice.
Mhm.
And with the combined knowledge of their dark magic, the Nehekaran magic, he invented necromancy. Then he waged war on the kings of Nehekara. Well, he created a dark pyramid where he stored his magic stuff to cast a spell that would wipe out the blah blah blah. A group of Skaven then freed the real king of Khemri and gave him the Fell Blade. Skaven sharing, that's also pretty odd. Thus, he was able to stop the spell before it was able to cast it. All right, so baby.
So I guess I do know. I guess I do know the whole story of him too, because that wasn't anything that I wasn't aware of. So.
That sounds a little bit more wicked than Archeon, though. Where this giant spell to kill everyone is a little bit different than Archeon just waging war for shits and giggles.
Well, I guess, like I said, my big thing with Nagash is, I mean, so this is his basic story. Where do you go from that? I mean, when you've already failed to literally kill everyone on the planet, what's your next plan that kind of ramps that shit up a little bit?
So you scale back a little bit, just go for a little bit of genocide instead of everyone.
Yes. I don't know.
Know your limits.
And the other thing that pissed me off is that those, I like the idea of the lore of undeath being available to everybody. I'm very pissed off about the fact that the magic cards for it sold out within 90 minutes of being on the website.
Oh.
Yeah, they're done by now. And some local stores, from people I've heard in the area, are already saying that the Nagash model is sold out. Although he's still up on GW's website at this point, but I don't know if they're restricting the number that they're shipping through local game stores and stuff.
That's interesting. They'll probably make more, I'm sure of it.
Probably not with the magic cards, because they've been really stingy on that shit.
Why? If it's something that makes them money, I don't understand why they get all pissy about it.
I don't understand half of the business decisions that GW makes, so don't bother trying to explain that one. Like their package deals of the new book plus the Nagash model that doesn't save you any money.
Right, those one-click bundles. They used to do it that you would save money. Now it's just they conditioned us to just assume that if it's bundled, it's cheaper. So
Yeah.
either it's
Well,
really
and
smart or really stupid. I can't tell.
Well, and then the thing that blows my mind too is they do you can download the Nagash book on iPad and save yourself like
$5.
$4 and a penny
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is what it ends up being. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I do say though it probably talked me out of starting a Skaven army this year though.
why?
Well, I'm with the baby and everything. I'm kind of having to plan my expenditures and things I'd get as gifts like much earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure I'll probably get this stuff picked up before the end of the year, and I definitely want to get the Triumph and Treachery book. I think that's going to be my next purchase. And so there's just a lot of this little stuff that'll probably end up eating away what I was going to focus on starting Skaven with. So.
Gotcha.
Although if I can find some pieces for it, I've got my first conversion I want to do for my ogres. It's going to be a Skaven-based man-eater. So I need to get like some bits from the rat ogre's sprues, like the hands and the tail, and I'm going to attach them to an ogre. And
if you want, I'll send you the picture of the one I have. I actually made, because I actually have a man-eater for every army.
Oh yeah?
What I did was I actually cut off half of the ogre's arm and put on the little warp fire thrower that comes in the rat ogre kit. So he's got what is it? He has a flamethrower in one arm, and then his left arm. Do you know the ogre kit, the big Stonehorn kit or whatever?
Yeah, I've got that one.
The guy's holding something that he's supposed to have like the reins of the beast. I never used that arm, and what I did was I took that, and he's just holding something, and I took two of those. You know the big cleaving axes that come with like every ogre kit.
Yeah.
I took two of those and put it on each end of his hand, so it looked like he had Skaven fighting claws.
Oh, that's nice.
So he's got the fighting claws, and then he's got a warp fire thrower. So I'll send you a picture of it when I find him.
I think I was going to aim a little sillier with it, but I was thinking of green stuffing like a little Mickey Mouse hat from Disney World on him, and I was going to just get like a big rat ogre tail and green stuff a big thick belt and just have the tail like attached to the belt behind him, and then just the big hands off of the rat ogres. But yeah, send me that picture. I'd like to see what you did and see if I might want to serious it up a little.
Yeah, I'll have to find him. Yeah, that was one of my favorite conversions, was doing man-eaters for every different army.
Yeah. Well, I'm not planning on doing them for every army, but I am actually planning on going to Brawlers next year.
Ooh.
So I want to have at least some conversion in that army, because the Brawlers folks like that sort of stuff as far as the painting and soft scores go. So I figure that would be a good place to get started.
Yeah, it would be cool, because I don't know if you were watching before, but Skaven NAZ said you'd come out, and if you come out, then we have a whole crew of people, which would be fun.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I already told my wife it's almost a year in advance. I want to do this year, so I'm just getting my ducks in a row now.
Yeah. Well, that would be fun. All right, so there's some comments. I'm going to read some comments quick, and then I have to go run and change the laundry, so I'll be gone for like 30 seconds. But
Okay.
John Craig says, makes a change I'm watching live. It's dinner time over here. I don't know where he would be then. Dinner time, so he's probably in the UK or Europe or something. Casual Saturday broadcast. Who's straying vampire counts now? Starting vampire counts now. I guess this guy's starting vampire counts now. That's good.
I think
Vampire
he's asking
counts.
who is.
Who is?
He is? Or is he asking who is?
He's probably asking who's starting vampire counts now because of Nagash.
Oh.
I'm not going to start vampire counts, but I might resurrect my Tomb Kings that I bought off eBay and actually repair them up and use them.
Well, I've already got vampire accounts, so no real need to start them up. Though I may pick up a couple of at some point, since you can do the combined Undead United team. I might pick up a couple of the things I like from Tomb Kings and stick them in.
I think that'll be really cool when it works out that way.
I'd just like to get the skeletal horsemen and the chariots and the catapult, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really need to add to my VC list to make them a little stronger.
Yeah, I just like being able to combine the armies in general, because when I used to play with the Warriors of Chaos, you had demons and beasts and warriors all combined together, and you can pick and choose whatever you want. But for business sake, they've separated it and expanded on each army. So,
but that actually reminds me. Oh, go ahead.
I just think it would be cool if at some point they do a Chaos supplement where you can combine all three of those armies again. I think that'd be good.
That's cool. But yeah, that reminds me, we're working on planning our next WTF Warhammer game. I don't know if you've been watching those where we just make kind of crazy, stupid lists and stuff and have fun with it. So this time we're doing 2,500 points, and you can use units from any army you own.
That's cool.
So you still have to hold to the 25% lords, heroes, your core and everything, but like I'm mixing a bloodthirster as my general with a necromancer on a corpse cart and warrior priests and vampires, and so basically to stop it from getting super crazy, we're going to play it with blood and glory. So you still got to have the fortitude and you need enough units, but
that's smart.
We'll kind of see what happens. Only one of my armies I didn't fit anything in from was the dwarves, because I'm going no war machines for it. So we'll see how that works.
Plus, there's nothing cheap in the dwarves that you can just.
I was tempted to just like crap out gyrocopters for my chaff, but then the blood and glory thing like got me, so I decided rather than that I'm doing 5 units of Noblars with the.
Trappers.
With flags on them. So, yeah, well, that's the only reason to take them, man, unless you're going to hoard that shit up. And I still probably take them as trappers when I hoard them. So.
I love the trappers.
They're so good.
I've got 7 units of 10 with traps.
You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello.
You want to talk to Nick real quick?
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I heard you have a new baby in the house.
Yeah, that.
What's the baby's name?
By Joanna.
Wow. Are you gonna help take care of the baby?
Yeah.
Very, very good. That's exciting.
See, Nick plays Warhammer just like Dee does.
Oh, really?
Do you like Warhammer?
Yeah.
And what army are you going to make for Warhammer?
Pony.
No. Okay. I'll allow it. I will allow it.
All right, thank you. My talking Yeah.
So she's gonna do ponies, huh?
Yeah. I tell you, I don't know if you saw the last Siege game I ran. She is the reason that half of my empire died before the game started. I let her roll all my Siege, the starvation rolls.
Oh, jeez.
More 5s and 6s than I've ever seen show up on dice ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was fun though. I pulled it out, so I guess I can't really complain about it.
Yeah, I gotta watch more videos. That's the thing. I've been like so behind. I haven't watched anything in the past month. So, has anything developed with your narratives?
Yeah, I mean we've gotten several. Well, in the last month we've gotten probably 5 or 6 narrative games done. And I've got one more that I've had on backlog, saving it because I didn't know when I'd get in a game with the baby and everything. So that's going to go up. Shh, 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 shh. Not too loud. Me and Mr. Nick are having a talk, okay? So I got another one going up with the Dark Elves against my Vampire count. So both of those armies are showing back up. So it'll be interesting. Although I think our player who does Bretonnia and Dark Elves and now the new Warriors of Chaos is getting tired of what he's calling finesse armies. So he's pulling back to pretty much anything or pulling back away from anything but Warriors. So I don't know what that'll do with the narrative for the time being.
He's only going to play Warriors?
Well, he's not. I don't think he's giving up playing Bretonnia or Dark Elves. I think he's just putting them on the shelf for a little while so he can not have to think too hard.
Okay. I can get on board with that.
Yeah. But yeah, he had pretty much decided already to put Bretonnia on the shelf until the new book comes out, when we thought it was coming out in like 2 months, but I don't know if he'll still do it.
What was with that fake out?
I have no idea. Well, I mean, nothing comes out official, so, but I mean, everybody was like ready to rock the new Bretonnia, and then all of a sudden, Nagash. Maybe they're just going to kill off everyone in Bretonnia and make a third undead army. That'd be...
That's funny.
That'd be... Hell, that fits the theme of my Vamp Counts army. It'd send me some better units to use. But that's actually another thing, the sort of where I'm thinking narratively I'm going to take the Vamp Counts, because I already have a group of night goblins that were converted up with like skeleton arms and stuff for use as zombies. Mm-hmm. And so what I'm thinking of is to keep pushing that. I think I'm going to get some trolls and paint them up with like dead flesh look to add to my crypt horrors. And I was thinking of getting, since nobody wants them and they're cheap as all dirt, getting the spider riders and painting them up as to look like vampires and using them as the cheapest blood knights in the world.
That's interesting. Yeah, you could take a lot of liberties with the undead armies.
Yeah. Well, and there is no way in hell I'm paying $95 for 5 models for those blood knights. That just ain't happening. Even if they weren't fine crap.
Fine crap.
But I mean, instead you can do $25 and get 10 spider riders, do a little bit of painting, maybe green stuff some fangs on them.
Right.
Boom, done.
Yeah, I wish spider riders were better. They seem fun and too fluffy. What can they do?
My wife hates spiders, so even if they were better, she would never use them. She won't use the Arachnarok or pretty much anything on a spider in her army. So.
Does she have the Arachnarok?
No, she won't. I wanted her to get it. I think it's an awesome looking model, but she won't come anywhere close to it. I told her the stats for it are pretty good, and that she should probably pick up that the giant colossal squig that Forge World does. Put a hoot on the back of it, and just use it as a spider, the Arachnarok.
Right. The Arachnarok is like 8 across the board with its stats, right?
Something like that. It's pretty ridiculous.
Like 8 wounds, 8 attacks, 8 crew.
Yeah. And then it just like basically, like all the spiders, it ignores buildings, which for me is the kind of the most impressive part about it.
Right.
Luke Davis uses it an awful lot, and I love the way his is painted up.
How does he execute it? Like, what does he do with it? Is it a support? Is it a...
That's the nice thing. He seems to kind of use it across the board. I mean, I've seen him use it as a shock troop on occasion. I think the last battle report of his I watched, he was using it to hunt Frostheart Phoenixes.
Interesting.
And so, well, 'cause, I mean, the thing's got such a wide frontage. I mean, it's line of sight. It's hard even for flying creatures to get out of it. And most folks don't expect you to just like charge over top of a building straight down
That's true.
something's throat. So I mean, it's got a lot of mobility, and that what is it, poison surge or something, venom surge that it has. I mean,
think
it can
it's
put
one attack that's multiple wounds.
yeah. I mean, it can put some hurting even on stuff like the frost phoenixes and the big monsters. So I just think it looks awesome. I've loved the forest goblin idea. I think they're cooler than the night goblins.
I just, Chris never got the spider to work. I wish he got it to work better.
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess it's always because I was always playing Skaven, and between warp lightning cannons and doom wheels, it would just go down quick. Very, very quick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the kind of crazy thing about this game is depending upon who you're playing with, what you can bring to the table effectively just absolutely changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, right now we've been having a distinct lack of cannons in our group, and so, I mean, I've been bringing crazy monsters. I mean, in vampire counts, I don't even field a vampire general anymore without putting him on either the zombie dragon or the abyssal terror.
Really?
It's like I know if I showed up even to a friendly or a less competitive tournament, he'd be blown off before he could move, and that'd be the end of that. Which is a shame, because I love the big monsters. It's just...
I do too. I think they just need to fix the way cannons work and then be done with it.
Yeah. But I just don't know what they're going to do in that aspect. I mean, you either go back to guessing range on everything, which frankly is not a fix because there's just a lot of clever ways to get around that, or you make them scatter and then...
What if cannons did D6 wounds to infantry and heroes, but to monsters only D3?
That might work. I actually think, to be totally honest, I think for the mount purposes, I think the cannonball, if they just randomized it like they do the bolt thrower shot, would even help. I mean, that way you're not having your general and the monster he's riding die horrible freaking deaths.
Having the bell and the Gracier both die.
Yeah.
From one cannon shot.
I mean, they'd still be good in that effect, but it would no longer be you being stupid to take a character riding a monster.
Right.
But
this is true. Very true.
Yeah. Oh, so speaking of narrative fun, did you happen to see Remington Steele's Moot Fest Halflings versus Ogres report he did the last couple of days?
I haven't gotten to watch anything, and I love his stuff too. So
you should. He actually approached me. I wrote his narrative intro for that, so it was pretty awesome hearing my words in his velvety English voice. So
I honestly think that's why I like watching him so much.
I agree.
I'm addicted to the English accent.
Yeah. So I was glad I couldn't record it for him because he wanted me to just record it and he was going to put it up. I was like, no, man, I'll send you the typed up version. You need to read it.
So is he back to making videos?
Yeah, this is his first one I've seen first one of significance I've seen in a while. He's done a couple of little, like, 5-minute, just him, like, showing off pictures of some of the stuff he's been doing, 5-10 minute things. But this is the first battle report I've seen out of him in, well, pretty much since I started watching his channel, strangely enough.
Right. Yeah, I like his Hobbit-themed army. It's pretty cool.
Dude, I wish I could put that army together, but I priced some of that stuff. Just where you've got to go to get all of it, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. John, are you back?
Kinda, yeah. Can Gladeguard dual wield French horns?
Only
in my
if
book,
you
yes.
like, you just snip some
What do you think?
arrowheads off on them and stuff them in the French horn, and then it's like a giant elven blowgun.
They just blow it out? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have enough extra
I'll be right
arrows
back.
for that.
So did I hear earlier, John, that you're taking the Wood Elves to Crossroads?
I am.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. I'm not. I'll be happy if I get one draw and 4 or 5 losses or however many it is.
Well, at least you go in with a reasonable expectation.
Yeah, no, I haven't even had time for practice games. I mean, I'm building half my army now still, so.
Are you aiming for solid avoidance, or you're going to actually try and stand up against something in combat?
Mostly avoidance and shooting at things and keeping them away from me.
Mm.
I don't know, I've got a couple sets of Wild Riders to run into stuff when goings get tough, but just gonna try to shoot them to death before they get to me.
I understand. My wife does a little bit of the Wood Elves too, but with everything going on, she hasn't had a chance to get any of the new stuff.
Yeah.
So, how have you liked them, the Wild Riders, compared to the Sisters of the Thorn?
I actually have both. I have a set of the Sisters of Thorn too. Like, I love them because I have 2 ranks, so it gives me an extra level 2 wizard. Gives you the extra channel, which helps out, and then their spells are decent. And then I put my BSB and my level 4 wizard with them, so they're pretty much just running around being annoying because they're fast cav, and then they've got the poison attacks too, so
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty decent for that.
Nice.
It's kind of weird how Nick's camera just came to the center. It scared me a little bit. There's no one there.
I'm used to Nick just randomly disappearing at this point, so whatever his camera does when he's not here, it's just on auto. But yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to come up with a way of doing something with the Wood Elves that's not necessarily completely avoidance.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like for them to have at least one unit that can survive in combat longer than half a turn, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I wanted to take some sort of melee unit just for fun, but the Dryads were just too terrible to give it a choice, and then I don't have anything else, and I didn't I had a bunch of Glade Guard already, so I didn't feel like going out and buying and putting together more stuff when I was already not painted as it was.
Right. Yeah, I think that was their biggest screw, was taking that point of strength from all of the tree folk.
I don't get it. And
I think if they had left it, then it could have given a decent melee option for the army. But I mean, strength 3 with hatred just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
You coming back?
And between Kyle and I, we have literally 80 Dryads that can't do anything now.
Well, I think that's the thing. Since everyone had them, they didn't want people to use them.
Yeah, but they didn't really give anything else in their place. I mean, everyone already has Glade Guard too, and they didn't even make new archer units.
Yeah, that was the craziest part. I remember because the first of the book spoilers that I watched was yours, Nick, and you guys were just totally in love with the idea of the Eternal Guard, and nobody else in the universe is, apparently, because nobody's using them.
Well, I honestly thought they were going to be a bit more useful being stubborn as core, but you're right. I don't see anyone use them. I don't know.
My wife refuses to use them for aesthetic reasons. She says that they got the high elf penis helmets, and so she won't use them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that was the only thing stopping her from going high elves when we first started playing together, is she just couldn't handle the penis helmets.
I don't know. I feel like people would use them more in darts, and that's just cheesy, and that's why we don't see it happening.
Mm.
The stubborn darts. Just
Yeah.
conga line them.
See, I would use them like I do my spearmen and empires, 15-man units. Well, I guess with the 15-man, because they don't always get that fight in an extra rank, and you just sprinkle them all over the place as support. The problem is that they don't have a main combat unit for those kind of smaller units to do any supporting to. I mean, if they had something that was a decent anvil that you could throw these little 15-man bricks of spearmen at for flanking and stuff, it would be one thing, but even the dryads aren't going to stay in combat against anything long enough to really be a good anvil.
Right. Well, that's where I thought the huntsman guys would come in, but I guess nobody's using them either.
Well, they're great weapons. I mean, great weapons don't do wonderfully as an anvil unit unless you get some heavy armor or a ward save or something crazy like that.
They don't have heavy armor?
I don't think so. I think they're light armor and great weapons.
Let me confirm that.
I mean, I may be wrong. Like I said, it's my wife's book. I only peruse it occasionally.
You're probably right. But I mean, I don't know. I was kind of hoping they would be the anvil unit. Or just something with some consistency and some power. What are they called?
I don't even remember.
What did you say, John?
Wildwood Rangers.
Wildwood Rangers. No, they only have light armor. That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Everything
That's what I thought.
Everything in High Elf has freaking heavy armor.
Yeah.
I don't know. For 11 points, though, they're not bad, but...
Yeah, well, the problem is that they don't really do the job enough to make it worth taking those 11 points a model out of something that can shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And, I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see those guys work, but the whole thing with the Wood Elf army for me is just, it's very gimmicky. You have to be able to put them in a forest for them to be good, or, you know, the Wildwood Rangers, they have to fight something that causes fear in order to get extra attacks. Like, I don't know, there's just so much extra work. And it's not even strategy work. It's not like you have to come up with a good plan. It's just, you have to just do these things.
I tell you, I think the Wood Elf book has made me very nervous for Bretonnia. and I'll say the reason why is I think both the Wood Elves and the Bretonian book up to this point were very unforgiving of mistakes.
Right.
And the thought was originally that the new book for the Wood Elves was going to fix that and give them some other options and give them something else to do, and I don't think it did. I think because you still have to play that avoidance game, it's still very unforgiving of mistakes.
Right.
And if they keep that with the Bretonians, I mean, that could make me nervous for the long-term play life of my Bretonian opponent.
Well, with Bretonia, I feel like they just need to come up with some sort of offensive abilities for those knights, because unless they make them more defensive, which I can't see them doing, I mean, having the prayer standard, so maybe they can go first, but I don't know, like impact hits or an extra attack when they charge or something, like they just need something better, because there's just so few bodies, unless they make like unless they really make the knights cheaper in points.
Well, I mean, realistically, my thought is all you really have to do is give Knights of the Realm an extra attack.
Oh man!
I mean, do your Knights Errant is basically leave them like they are.
Mm-hmm.
Give the Knights Errant or the Knights of the Realm an extra attack. I don't know what you do with the questing Knights because they just are kind of garbage, and then do like the Grail Knights, the extra attack plus impact hits on the charge.
Okay.
And that would give you kind of definite step-ups, and it would let them do more. I mean, and I think giving the core ones an extra attack really isn't breaking, considering the core that's come out
for any other army.
Right.
This is true. I don't know. I would just like to see something cool for Bretonia. I just don't know what it would be.
I just think that right now the setup work versus the enjoyment value for them is just totally off kilter. I mean, to have a good-looking Bretonnian army, you have to put in more painting work than any other army in the game. And there seems to be very little payoff for that.
Or else invest in a lot of children's toys.
Right. I think that's the real reason everyone was pissed off at Naren. If he had taken an easier army and made a fool of them, then it wouldn't have been a problem.
I just can't believe how well he did.
Well, I mean, the models have nothing to do with the performance of the army, really. So I think he had a strong list and did well, and probably capitalized on some of his opponents getting pissed off.
I guess that's possible. I don't know. I mean, I know the Sustainable Center tried playing his list and just got wrecked by it. Which, I mean, he was playing against Empire, so there was that chance that he was going to get shot up. But, I mean, I'm just surprised not out of 5 games he didn't get like a shitty matchup where it was just he was fighting against black powder weapons or something. But I don't know. But I've rehashed it with him like twice now, and he just said it was, you know, he played as good as he could, and that was it.
I think what Bretonnia really needs is just more horses.
More
like,
what?
Each knight should get 2 horses.
Each knight should get 2 horses.
So then when their first horse gets tired, then they can just get on another horse. And with more horses, I think it would really be a better army.
That's a sound plan, John. Where are we going to find all these extra horses?
And GW will just sell 5 horses for $50.
No.
Or am I just giving them too many good ideas?
They're lucky to be a combined unit, where like they'll give them foot knights and then they'll be able to field horses separately, and the only way to get knights is to buy both kits and put them together. Be like the opposite of the dual kit thing they're going now.
Yeah.
The half kit.
Right. And that will also be the triumphant return of Finecast, so they'll go... and actually, probably to make it worse, is they'll do the horses in Finecast and the knights in metal, so that they'll just, like, break each other in half.
So we got
Yes, that's why we're making fun of it. My wife's over here going, Finecast sucks!
Is she up and about?
Oh, yeah.
Doing good?
Come on.
Yeah.
Come say hi. She says she doesn't want people to see her yet. But yeah, she's up and about, man. It's she pretty much shot that kid across the room and was like, "All right, pack your shit, let's get out of here."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So comments, William Page says battle reports with a UK accent is always better. I agree.
Absolutely.
And he said in regards to the end times, I was playing with the idea that they will end the world fictionally so that they can make a clean drop of the game in the real world. It would be polite of them to do so.
Interesting.
I think that they're probably not going to do that just because doing so would have them release too much of their intellectual content to start over. I think they want to hold on to all of that stuff so that nobody else could make them.
Yeah. But I mean, if they are looking to sell the company, then there will be some GW closure to their storyline, let alone whatever the next company goes ahead and does to it.
Yeah. I mean, I got to say that the use of end times makes me nervous that they're just going to end the game. They're like, all right, well, 8th edition's it. We're done. Let's make yet another Space Marines chapter.
You know what? I wouldn't
Coming out with a brand new Warhammer 50K.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a lot of models and supplements at this point that if for some reason the game did fall apart, I wouldn't be too upset because then that really just gives more power to the fans. And then there would just be universal PDFs for people to try balancing points and doing stuff. And
Right.
I mean, that's what the tournament scene is now. There's comps on everything, so to get a group consensus of what should be nerfed and what should be increased on points and whatnot, it would happen. I mean, look what just happened to Mordheim. That game fell apart decades ago, but like there's still fan supplements being created to introduce new armies, introduce new rules, and like I'm actually more happy with the refined stuff that the fans did compared to the original product that GW put out.
Huh. I didn't know much about Mordheim, so it's interesting that that's kind of where it went.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fan-made warbands, and there's a lot of fan-made rule sets that kind of refined the rules to maybe match up with more recent additions and stuff. And I don't know.
I tell you, I love some of those fan-made books, like the Halfling book and the Amazon one. I mean, that's some high-quality stuff. If GW did lose the reins, folks like that getting hold of it could be the not the worst thing in the world.
Right. I agree. So if you did go to Brawlers, what army would you bring?
Probably ogres. They're the closest thing I've got to a real brawler type army. And I did play in that one day tournament around here that was a brawlers prep, and placed fourth out of I think it was 15.
Okay.
With 3,000 points of ogres, and I even brought my Yetis. So I mean, maybe if I serioused up and didn't take the fun fluff choices, I could do good.
Yetis.
I love my Yetis, man. Even Remington gave me crap for the Yetis. He made just some random comment about them. I was like, dude, you just had me do your narrative, and I use Yetis all the time. Get off me.
I fielded Yetis once, and that was it.
I'm actually thinking of getting 3 more of them and fielding a group of 6.
What is it? What do they do in combat? What's their little special ice thing?
They do -1 to weapon skill, and their attacks count as magical.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're helpful if you're playing against ethereal stuff.
Wait, is it -1 weapon skill or -1 to hit?
-1 weapon skill.
I don't know if that...
It's not great, particularly considering their weapon skill is only 3, I think. But it gets fun when they you end up failing a fear check and your weapon skill drops to 0.
That's true. Because then you can't attack, right?
Right.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that could happen.
Yeah.
Has that happened?
It's happened once. I mean, it's not something you rely on. It's just one of those kind of cute things. I mean, I like it because they're Speed 7 Swift Striders. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I use them to go essentially just clear chaff out of the way before the ogres come swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, they don't get the impact hits, but they're still ogres. I mean, they're strength 5, 3 attacks each, plus stomps. They're going to tear apart small units.
That's true. What about a Gorger? Have you ever used the Gorgers?
I have one Gorger, and I've used it a couple times, but never to great success. Mainly because I forget about them 70% of the time, and they'll just sit off on the side of the table until the game's over, and then I look at them and go, fuck! And then the other 30% of the time they show up, and then a unit swift reforms and shoots them to death.
That's funny. I brought one recently against the 2 games I did against dwarves, and it was fun having them pop up and just bash in some war machines.
I mean, I think they would be a heck of a lot better if, like, how the dwarf miners work, where when they pop up, they have like cover.
Mm-hmm.
Something to give them defensive capabilities.
Right.
But they really don't. I mean, the only thing they got is unbreakable, and that doesn't matter if you're catching 20 bolts to the head.
Right. I don't know. I know it's not a competitive choice, but like against certain armies, it could work out really well. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. If someone did it against my Skaven, having that thing in the back of the bunker unit is just scary as hell.
Oh, it's great against undead too. I mean, if they've got casters and a zombie unit in the back, and you just go in and just tear them up.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, you know me, I'm not even a competitive player, and that one's a little too light even for me. Of course, if I had the models for it, I'd be tempted to run the Scrag list, where it's like the one special character who just buffs all the Gorgers in the universe.
Really? Oh yeah, the Scourges get special rules from him or something.
Yeah, like basically depending upon the number of things that he kills in close combat. Like, and if he kills a single model in close combat, every Gorger who's not in play already shows up like immediately. And then on top of that, he starts giving them like extra attacks and regen and this and that. And I was like, that would actually make him decent, but
yeah,
he's super expensive, and you'd really need just a grand army rules to get enough of them in the list to be worth the damn.
Yeah, you can only bring what, 3 of them?
I think so. They're special.
They are very special.
I got one because I like the model and it was fun to paint, but I use it very rarely.
Yeah, the one I have painted up is pretty cool.
I just need to start using more lead belchers.
Yeah.
Well, I've only got 8 of them, and that's usually, like, when I want to really be annoying, I'll just bring the big brick at 8 and blow things to Kingdom Come and then run straight at my enemy with them.
You need 3 bricks of 8.
I would, but I just don't have them. I mean, all the lead belchers I had, I bought my original Ogre army just as a lot of, like, half put together stuff on eBay, and it just happened to have 8 in it, so...
Gotcha.
That's why I have 8.
I don't think I actually have that many. It's just I have all that fun unit filler, which looks cool. Cool unit filler. Way to go.
I don't have a whole lot of experience with unit filler. I haven't tried it.
Neither did I until recently, and I found it very fun, so I highly recommend it.
I don't know, I'm just having trouble, like, thinking, because, I mean, I don't know, other than, like, doing it in the zombies where, like, how everybody does it to look like churned earth and the body parts coming out of the ground, it's like I'm having trouble visualizing anything I would want as a unit filler in a lot of my stuff.
This is true. Well, for vampires, I mean, I feel like the zombies you can take the most liberties with, especially since there's so many models that you need to deal with. But that's just me.
Yeah. I was thinking it would be cool, depending upon how big a unit of ogres I actually wanted to do, of doing a unit filler like the size of one of the giant monster bases and doing it like the Maw Pit.
That's cool.
But you'd have to be fielding like 40 ogres to be able to fit that in as a unit filler.
I mean, that's still a fun idea, even if you're to use that for like a display board or something.
Or terrain.
Yeah.
Because I know we had done, on the Ogre Stronghold, I came up with some rules for the Maw Pit for the terrain because I got tired of the fact that the random tables only generate stuff from forces of order and forces of destruction. There's no neutral terrain out there, so.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what we did on it. It was like, I think if you won a challenge within 3 inches of the maw pit, you got a permanent +1 to leadership. So,
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and it makes sense. It's kind of what it's supposed to be. It's like, let's go and do a gladiatory challenge here, and now everybody listens to me because I'm a badass.
Oh, man.
But,
All right. I'm going to check to see if there's any other comments and then maybe wrap this up. Because we went a lot longer than I thought I was going to. I thought we were going to go for maybe an hour or something. Let's see. No new comments. Oh, actually, one question. Lord Stannis, what are our opinions on the current power levels of the armies in fantasy? That's a loaded question.
It really is. Well, I'll go ahead and say, Lord Stannis, for Narrations and Lamentations with Materim and the boys, we'll be back on Wednesday, and we're going to be engaging that particular topic in depth, and it's probably going to take us a full hour to do that. So I don't know that that's something if we want to just like bust it out right now, but for the most part, I find them, as long as you're not going for the busted like the super hard tournament stuff, I find them for the most part pretty balanced.
Okay. I can sort of agree, but the thing is, I'm not playing people that are playing for fun and fluff and narrative. I always end up playing people that are playing for blood, so my opinions on the current power levels...
You can play me next time, Nick, and then you'll play someone playing for fluff and fun.
This is true. The only issue I have is when people default to the net list. I mean, I'm okay with playing with the Nurgle Demon Prince once in a while myself, but when it's every time I play someone that's playing Warriors, it's like, come on, can't you be a little bit more creative and find something that's powerful but still fun, or effective but still requires some strategy? So.
Yeah. See, I was actually tempted. I've been doing some thinking if I actually had more time of doing a one-day tournament, running a Fluff Masters tournament, where it would be the the Swedish comp system where you take your score to find out how fluffy you are. Lowest possible result that would be allowed in the army would be a 12.
Okay.
And just force everybody to play just ridiculously high fluff lists, and just do all fluff-based objectives and stuff like that, and see how some of the local tourney players would handle having all of their big busted toys taken away from them.
Right. As cool as that is, I'm just curious how many players have fluff-based and fun units painted up and ready to go. Because that's the thing, like, I would love to play with, like, Night Runners or like, Poison Wind Globadiers or something that I don't usually use, but they're not assembled and painted. You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
But maybe that's something I'll do at some point, is challenge myself to use the subpar shit in tournament play and just see how good or bad it does and how much I get
thought you did that with the lead belchers, though.
You know what? The lead belcher thing, though, it could work really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, I loved the idea. I was on your side as soon as I heard about it, but I gotta bust your balls a little bit every time we get together.
This is true. So.
Well, hell, man, if you ever feel like getting just a fluffy, crazy game in, we'll have to do something on long distance, you and me, and just pull out some crazy bullshit and see what goes down.
I'm game. I think we'll do that.
Awesome. I haven't done one of them yet before, but could be fun.
Yeah, I only did the one virtual game so far, and it was good. So, but yeah, we'll have to line something up when schedules coincide and people aren't too busy having babies and stuff.
Right.
All right, so that's all the comments. Anything you guys want to throw in before we close this out?
I think you should finish my army for free.
No, time is money.
Okay, it's worth a try.
I'll help you. I'll help you. But sorry.
So my Wild Rider's almost built, so it's been a productive day.
Hey, just sitting here watching you do this for 2 hours just made me feel a lot better about this because I was nervous you weren't going to get it done.
So let me
I'm
ask you
still
something,
nervous when
John.
we can
Just
get
a quick question. Do
Yes.
you assemble before you paint or vice versa?
I assemble before I paint. Well, most of my stuff was assembled like 8 or 9 years ago, and I didn't really paint it at all.
Oh,
So,
okay. 'Cause I know
assemb-
the one thing my wife says that it helps her do it quicker is she paints everything on the sprue. Well, she paints a decent amount of stuff on the sprue. She's correcting me over here, and puts it together just because she says it takes longer when you're essentially having to paint around the assemblies. So, just a
That's
thought.
true. It does make a lot of sense, and I'm glad you told me that after I cut everything off my sprues this morning.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, that's a good idea for the future, though. I don't know. I have trouble like putting it all together in my head, though. I'm like the least artistic person I know, so like I just see a bunch of pieces, and like once it's together, I can kind of think it up a little more. But I usually need to like, all right, Nick, tell me what colors to paint where.
See, what I did for the most part, most of my armies, I did like that. I assembled, but when I started the dwarves, they were just too damn small. So I did the sprue painting and then assembled them, and that went way more smoothly than I thought. So there's definitely something to it, I think.
Yeah, definitely try that out the next things I pick up.
Well, with that being said, John learned a lesson today, and I think this is good to go. So thank you, boys, for joining us, and we'll have to do this again sometime.
Absolutely, man. Just say the word.
Alrighty.